Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Changeling the Lost Kingdom of Glass. 1920s Changeling, 1920s style Changeling. We start the evening off with Nebula finishing up her shift and going over to where Vinny is, wherever Vinny is. I don't know where he's at.
He would actually be sitting by a door.
A door. Which door? Are we talking the crazy mirror skin that mimics?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He's just talking to the door and it's responding back in his voice. He looks up to Nebby. Oh, hey, Nebby. And then Nebby will hear a little voice in the background that repeats his. Hey, Nebby.
Any improvement on our friend?
No.
Any improvement on our friend? I know how this works.
She has seemed a little bit less threatened by me, but she just repeats my voice.
Well,
he slips standing up.
Yeah, I'll help him.
Oh no, he didn't slip standing up. He was slipping,
got it. I was like, great. He's usually very adroit. What? He slipped down. Okay.
No. he didn't slip up, but he slipped up.
Yes. Well, I think Tiny's expecting us over at his house.
Oh, I've never been to Tiny's house.
It's nice. Kind of big. Way bigger than mine. But that's okay. He's big. He needs something big.
That's true.
I mean, he is 12 feet tall. You know, I mean, Wisen tend to be small. I can pretty much well squeeze into anywhere.
Now, Darkling tend to be lanky and long.
I know. Unlike us who tend to be kind of short and, well, yeah. Anyway, I guess we probably should head on over.
Well, right this way, my lady. He offers his arm.
She'll take it.
He chuckles softly and walks with her. People are probably glancing as they walk past.
Probably. I mean, because here is, slender, attractive mirror skin and wizened. That's all I'm going to say, wizened.
Vinny probably wouldn't attract too much attention to himself because he kind of doesn't have that sort of out there nature, but they're probably noticing them because he's guiding Nebby.
Yep. I guess we're gonna take a bus over there. Probably.
Yeah.
Mostly because, I don't think any of us have really any large amounts of resources.
Nope.
And I'm still learning. I'm still in school, technically speaking. I mean, unless Vinny is wanting to be real chatty, Nebby isn't really going to say an awful lot. It's just, she's kind of lost in her own little world, still thinking about the list.
Yeah, Vinny probably isn't talking very much either. He has his mind on other things like Wes and And he's also thinking about the list. And he's also thinking about ways to breaking into Nebby's house. And he's also thinking about the crown and the shards of glass he needs to find.
So once we get there, there's just, knock on the door.
Tiny will open the door. He has spectacles on his nose. Hello.
Oh, I didn't know you needed glasses.
It makes the reading easier.
What have you been reading?
This book. And he holds up a book. It's some sort of history book.
She'll smile.
How far have you gotten on it?
He
says, walking with her.
Page 122.
Out of how many?
437.
You went through a good chunk of it. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
It takes me a while because sometimes I get to words that I don't know, and then I have to use this book, and he holds up a big old dictionary to figure out what the word means.
But you're learning, and that's good.
Exactly. I'm proud of you.
I must be better than I am to be more useful to the people I care about.
Well, it's something we all should strive for.
I'm glad to see you. Patricia is at the hospital playing with the kids.
I know. They all love her to death.
I know she loves them too, but she likes coming home, so I'm glad that she likes it here. It just gets lonely when she's not here, so I'm glad that you're here.
Well, let's see if we can't alleviate some of the loneliness.
Okay. Have you been up to anything interesting lately?
Let's go inside before we start talking about interesting things.
Okay, come on in. You are most invited. And he will step back and kind of do a gesture with his hand to enter.
She will go in. You coming, Vinny?
Yes. Sorry. I was thinking about something. He follows in.
He'll shut the door and lock it, and then he turns and gives them each a big, huge hug that lifts them up off the ground.
Vinny chuckles, and he gives him a big hug, too.
It is good to see you. It just feels like a long time.
It has been a very long time, it feels like.
We've just been studying and trying to get things organized, I believe.
Yep.
I locked up my slingshot. If I don't do that, it makes terrible wailing sounds at night.
Oh.
It's fine. It doesn't do that during the day. It's just, as long as I lock it up, it won't say anything. It won't do anything.
I know what it's like to try and sleep through screams.
He chews his lips softly.
Anyway, she kind of leans in over to Vinny and kind of whispers, "We probably should tell Tiny about the list. Should we?"
If you think so.
So I have a list.
What kind of list? A grocery list? I have one of those. I need more bread.
Vinny has kind of a hurt look on his face, almost wanting to make sure that Tiny has that pure innocence to him.
Let's see. I have a list of receipts.
Payment due?
People we need to kill.
Oh. Did you buy them? He gets confused for a second.
No, no.
Why would you have a receipt for them? I'm confused.
They bought. Someone was buying children and selling them to the masters.
The receipts are the people who sold the children.
Hmm.
Now we can do this a couple of ways. I'm not entirely sure that not a word that we have these receipts, Tiny.
Okay.
Swear it to me.
Tiny's good at keeping secrets.
Swear it to me. All of us?
Tiny's brows cross a little bit. Do you not trust Tiny suddenly?
I do trust you. Trust has nothing to do with this.
Vinny gently touches Nebby's arm.
Well, you told me that our vows and our promises are sacred, binding things, and I feel like if you trusted me, you wouldn't be pushing for me to do something that I told you I wouldn't do.
It is within our nature, Tiny. But yeah, it's
Vinny walks over to Tiny and he just gently rubs his arm.
It's okay. I'm not mad. It seems. I'll just find him. I will swear to you.
Vinny actually wraps his arms around Tiny and just gives him a hug. You don't have to do anything you don't want to.
No, it's fine.
Tiny.
That's fine.
it is.
He just kind of holds Tiny for a second.
Tiny doesn't look like he looks upset, but not it's hard to explain. He's not sad. It's a little bit hurt. Like it was one of those stab hurts. Oh,
Tiny, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I understand. I know I'm not smart, and sometimes I say things in ways you wouldn't. So I get it.
It's fine. It's just that if that got out, we're all in danger.
We're all in danger anyway, but I understand.
Vinny looks to Nebby and he offers a hand to her.
And she will go up and take it and kind of hug around Tiny and kind of, so that literally there's she's holding Vinny's hand with her right hand and she's clasping Vinny's hand with her other hand, and so that Tiny is actually being held in a hug by both of them.
Oh, Tiny's giant. He needs two hands for hugs.
Yes.
And then after the hug, Vinny will take Tiny's hand and place it into theirs.
Tiny puts his hand on the side of Nebula's face, and he looks her deeply in the eyes, and he's like, "You know, you are my sister. That I love you more than anything else in this world. I would never do anything to betray you. I want you to understand that."
I know you wouldn't.
If the grinning man were here, I would stand between you and him, and I would die fighting for you.
let's not say his name anymore.
I don't even think that's his name. I think it's just a
I
bad definition.
I have a different oath that we could take.
He stops and he turns and does the exact same thing to Vinny, puts his hand inside his face. I did not know you like Nebula, but I love you, Vinny. You are my brother that I never knew I wanted or had. I will always fight for you too. And the little one. And Patricia. Everybody else, meh. He gets a little less serious, like meh. But you guys, for sure.
Tiny.
I like Wes. And the what's her the girl? The
Shade.
Oh no. She's scary.
You're talking about Mary?
Mary. I like Mary a lot. Mary is
He
amazing.
chuckles.
Mary's one of my favorite new people I've met. She's interesting.
I have an offer.
What?
Offer?
Ooh, before he wandered, he skips off real quick.
He blinks.
And then eventually you'll hear some water running, and then you'll hear like some clitter clatter of stuff, and then you'll hear the whistle of a tea kettle.
He chuckles a little bit.
He's making us tea.
Sugar, milk.
No milk, thank you, but I'll take some sugar.
Okay, I have Kubi thingies.
Okay.
And a little thingy that pinches them. It's very cool.
Maybe you should try it. You should try a cube of sugar too. I want to try something new.
Oh,
Patricia likes honey. Do you want honey?
Vinny, like, I don't know what I like.
I'll help you, Nebula. You hear like Tiny attempting to be gentle is still Tiny.
So
that is adorable.
So Vinny actually like hurries in there and sees him trying to like do things, and he gently touches his hand and tries to help him. Like let Tiny do it, but he's offering like a gentle like guidance, so it's not breaking things.
No, he's doing really well. It's just like he grabs a teacup, and the teacup is just this little itty bitty thing in his hand that he's trying not to over squeeze.
Oh.
And he puts it down, and he sets up the tray, and he comes out with the tray, and it's got the 3 teacups with a teapot that you can see smoke rising out of. And then it's a little thingy with the top that you can pull off, and you're guessing there's little sugar cubes in it, and there's a little silver tweezer thingies that pick up the sugar cubes. And there's a little jar of honey with a little spoon, and a little bottle, it matches the set, and it's got milk in it. So he brings it out and sets it down. He's like, I was remiss to not offer you tea for coming to my home. So welcome to my home. Would you like some tea?
I would love some tea.
Yes.
He smiles.
So he will pour the water into the tea, and then he will say, you wanted sugar. How many sugars, Vinny?
I normally drink things black, so 1 should be fine.
1 sugar in. Nebula, you do not know, so I'm going to make yours a little sweeter. And he puts some honey in it, and you can see him stir it up, and you can see like the honey crystals dissolving off the spoon. And then he puts 2 sugars in it as well.
And she's watching all this with curiosity.
And then he puts sugar, a little bit of milk, and like 4 things of sugar, a little bit of milk, and a bunch of honey in his. It's probably more not tea than tea.
So, and she'll blow on it and take a sip, and it's a little sweet.
Oh, probably not.
No. This is what's going through her head.
Oh,
it's like it's a little sweet, mostly because she's not used to like sugar and honey, and I mean she's more salt. I mean it's not like she's pulling faces or anything, but it's just like, this is something I've never tasted before. I don't know if I like this, but it's good.
Vinny is gently sipping the tea. Like, he's
You will
not.
straight up notice Tiny has his pinky finger out.
Oh,
He's hardcore etiquette. He's been learning things. I'm learning all this stuff I can that aren't points on paper, so.
Like, she's going to, Nebula is just going to like grin from ear to ear on that, because
I would offer you sandwiches, but I'm out of bread. It's on my grocery list.
at the mention of list, it's like, how am I going to get my hands on these itty bitty 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 bitty?
Vinny looks to both of them and he smiles softly. Anyways, what I was going to say was, instead of an oath binding you, Tiny, to be bound to not tell anyone about the list, we should make an oath binding us as the Rabble Rousers. That way, anything we do will affect all of us.
I don't know why I'm so proud of that name, but I am incredibly proud of that name.
It's because of you.
Me?
Yeah.
What did I do?
You're the image of the Rabble Rousers, Tiny.
I'm not image. I'm ugly. No. You're the pretty
Everybody.
one.
Vinny, this time Vinny, like, even though Tiny's sitting down, Vinny, like, stands up and, like, gets on his tippy toes and cups Tiny's cheek now.
Oh.
Tiny, you're the one who went to every table during spring. You're the one who tried to swing at the Spring King. You're the one who has caused so much anger within Angelo. You're the one who created the Rabble Rousers, and you're who people see.
I do stick out. I'm proud to be a part of your friendship.
He smiles, like, widely, and he says, you're more than just a part. You're what brought us together, Tiny.
I would never have been able to get out without you.
Do you think I would have swung a punch over at Angela? No.
No, you would have been successful and probably snuck up behind him and stabbed him in his neck.
He chuckled softly.
And Nebula would have been able to find a way to get him on a table and peel the flesh from his bones. I just threw a haymaker at a loudmouth and he put me to sleep like a fool.
Like, you can hear the... She's trying desperately not to puke at this point.
Tiny.
I'm sorry, what'd I do?
No, it's just because we can be capable of killing doesn't mean it's always the right course of action. Your course of action was perfect. Even though you did swing and you did fall asleep, your act is how people have seen us. We're the ones who cause all of the rabble rousing within the Spring Court because of you.
And it's because of you that maybe Angelo's gonna get toppled.
I hope so. He's a jerkface.
Well, Vinny's kind of convinced me that I need to go be with, to actually join Spring to try and change it from within.
That would be good. You would treat the people much better than he has, and there are some really wonderful people in Spring. And he kind of pondered for a second. He's like, although I think they act like they like me, and I don't think they really like me.
Mm.
I don't understand being fake like that.
You're more forthcoming.
It's just easier that way. I don't have to remember any lies if I don't lie.
Well, that's true. And two, it may be that they are perhaps manipulating a little bit to get what they need.
They could just ask me.
It's a little bit hard to ask someone for an emotion.
Well, what emotion would you want? If you asked me and you said, Tiny, I need love from you, and I would be like, hugs aplenty, and I would lift you off the ground and give you love. If you said, Tiny, pointing at somebody who hurt you and said, I need anger from you, I would be like, motherfucker, please, and I would crush him.
It's not that simple. They
Nebby.
they want your need, your greed, your hope, what your deepest, darkest desires actually are.
I don't know if I really have any deep, dark desires. I mean, I have goals. Is that like desires?
Yes.
It's not passionate, though. I feel desire sounds passionate. I feel as though...
Maybe we need to find something that you desire. I know one thing that you're passionate about.
Dancing. I like to dance.
Vinny smiles and he offers a hand to Tiny, doing a slight bow. You know, we never did dance at the ball.
I was sad, and I was going to dance with Angelo, and I was going to be really nice, and he flaked off on me, bitch.
Oh.
I want to punch him in his ovaries. And then he'll stand up and he'll go turn on a record, and he will dance with Vinny in the living room.
And Nebby's just going to sit back and smile. Just grin. What kind of dance are you doing?
It's kind of awkward because Tiny's so huge.
Oh, Tiny straight up does what he does with all the ladies he did at the dance. He will lift Vinny up and put Vinny on his feet. So his feet are on his feet. It's mostly Tiny dancing because it's just the easiest way.
Vinny's just grinning while he dances with Tiny. And after they're done, he'll smile and he'll carefully get off of his feet. That was fun.
It looked fun.
Would you like a dance? I will dance with you. Or do
I
we
would love a dance.
All right, he puts on a different song. This one's a little slower, a little darker. It's got a picture like Moonlight Sonata.
Like, it's really odd because in her mane, she's like wrapped her tentacles around his leg. And with her mask feet on top of his. So it looks really bizarre.
You want to know something funny though?
What?
Vinny like kind of looks between them and he chuckles a little bit because they look really adorable with him being like bulky and strong and like with his like prehensile tongue, and then she has her tentacles everywhere. He's just slightly like chuckling softly.
Together we are a Japanese artist's wet dream. I mean.
Exactly. Hashtag hentai.
So the song ends, and he's thoroughly happy. Do you want fruit? I have apples.
No, thank you. I'm fruity enough.
Ah. Nebula, fruit?
Nebby is like sniffing, trying to figure out, wait a minute. Fruity?
I didn't understand either. He just says stuff sometimes that I don't understand, so I stopped asking.
No. That's really the first time he's done that. At least for me. Am I missing something?
No, it's just little side comments I've noticed. I don't usually understand them, so I just don't comment.
I mean, I know that he knew, little one's last name before any of us, and I don't know.
I just think Vinny is wise, so sometimes he says things and it sounds like he's a philosopher, and I figured that he's just philosophizing. Did you want an apple?
No, thank you.
He comes out with 3 apples and puts one in his mouth and eats it.
So
the whole apple.
Yeah.
It makes crunchy, gooey noises, but he's got a big grin on his face. He's super happy because it's super yummy.
So what you're saying is that it might be time to make us official.
Is that what
Yes.
she said to Benny?
Yeah.
Is that the like a making an oath as a group? What did they call that?
Making a pledge?
Yeah, you were telling me a little bit about it, and I think Greta was saying something about pledges, and she was kind of explaining her stuff.
Well, today we can make the Rabble Rousers official.
We can. Then let us do so.
Yeah.
Vinny places a hand out.
Nebby will take one hand.
The Tiny will like whoops and put his hand out. Am I supposed to take Nebby's hand too?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay. I may have accidentally muted my mic.
It did.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I grabbed hold of Vinny's hand and then held up my hand to Tiny, which if he took it.
He took them both. Oh goodness.
Vinny, you're muted.
Sorry.
So do we do this together or do we do this separately or?
We can say it one after the other.
Okay.
Who should go first?
I suppose I will. If everyone's amenable to it.
I will happily let you go first. I would like to go last because I don't know what I'm doing and I want to make sure that I can have time to properly think of what I need to say.
Okay.
Hand to hand we stand, and side by side. Though my brothers and I may quarrel, none may quarrel with my brother and not quarrel with me. This is my oath. Friendship, assistance, and the blessings of both. Now we are family bound more than blood. I swear to stand by each of you as you swear to stand by me for a year and a day. I, Nebula Chiligrove, do swear on my true name to offer my skill and knowledge to the rabble rousers in sickness and in health, through the tempest and the tame, and through the prudence and the play. May our prosperity desert us and our talents fail us should we break this vow of brotherhood.
Hand to hand we stand, and side by side. Though my brother and I may quarrel, none may quarrel with my brother and not quarrel with me. This is my oath, friendship, assistance, and the blessings of both. Now we are family bound more than blood. I swear to stand by each of you as you swear to stand by me for a year and a day. I, Vinny, swear this as the mirror who was bound to see all things. You have my cunning, my insight, and my wisdom. By the power of the word, the essence of my being, and my longing of the past, I am your sight and thoughtfulness. May our prosperity desert us, and our talents fail us, should we break this vow of brotherhood.
Tiny concentrates. Hand to hand we stand, and side by side. Though my brother and I may quarrel, none may quarrel with my brother and not quarrel with me. This is my oath. Friendship, assistance, and the blessings of both. Now we are family, bound more than blood. I swear to stand by each of you as you swear to stand by me for a year and a day. Tiny, he pauses while really thinking hard. Swear this on the weird and my true name and the essence of the being within me, and further swear should one of you fall during this time to avenge your loss with all that I am. My strength and even my life for yours is needed. May our prosperity desert us and our talents fail us should we break this vow of brotherhood and sisterhood, he whispers.
And then, like, they feel the flowing of energy as Vinny's willpower is kind of spent and everybody else's.
Yep, and everybody make sure you knock off the 1 point of willpower. And we'll get with Nenica to see what kind of benefits we get.
Okay. I hope she likes the scene.
I hope she does too.
I think it was a really good scene. I'm
I
actually.
hope she likes 3.
I was almost tearing up during the vow reading, so I hope she likes it.
Ooh.
I'm also very emotional at the moment, so it's just kind of me.
No, I love it. Vinny chews his lip softly.
Well, that just was so climactic that now everything just like I can offer you cake. Do you want cake? I'm not used to being the person people come to their house. I have cake.
We can celebrate with cake. We can celebrate with cake. That is totally.
Oh, we're celebrating. Yes, this would be a good celebrating. I will bring cake and beer. And you he wanders off. You hear a bunch of clinking and a bunch of like stuff, and he comes out kind of manhandling 3 plates of cake with forks like stuck between his fingers, and he has 3 beers between 2 fingers, and then a bottle of Jack like whiskey in another hand, and glasses. He's like, celebrate.
Vinny looks at the whiskey and he has a mental image pop back, and he just kind of stares at it for a second, grabs the cake, and just doesn't look at the beer and whiskey.
He starts setting down glasses in front of everybody, and he actually goes back and gets milk and pours milk for drinking with the cake.
Vinny will drink the milk.
Vinny's going to drink the whiskey. Tiny gives him the squinty eyes.
Vinny looks over at Tiny like, you don't want me to drink whiskey. You don't want me to drink whiskey.
Why not? Do you get more fun? I get more fun when I drink the whiskey. I get a little scrappy, though.
Oh my.
Vinny just kind of like blushes and shakes his head and just starts nomming cake.
Oh, you're a lovey whiskey drinker. I will give you the cuddles, my friend Vinny. Cuddles. He's super happy.
Vinny is just like a ball of blush right now, and he's just nomming.
She is going to take cake and just kind of nom a little bit. It's still sweet, but she's not really saying anything. Mostly because, it's good. It's just, kind of like it's almost like, you can almost see her cheeks kind of pucker in. Which looks really weird on, like the angular face of a gray.
You know what Vinny does? Vinny like smiles deviously, and he like takes off some of the icing on like 2 different fingers and wipes some icing on both of their noses and chuckles.
You get to see the very disturbing image of the long prehensile tongue come up and just lick it off. At you, and then put his tongue slowly slides back into his mouth.
He starts laughing.
Oh God. This is great.
I bet I'm the only one here who can lick the top of my head.
I bet you are too.
I bet you are too. Wait, no, I know what I can do. And so, you know what Vinny does? He runs his finger on his tongue and then runs that finger over the top of his head. And he said, and thus I have licked the top of my head.
Nebby's going to take a big, huge popping thing of cake, hold it up to the Rabble Rousers.
To the Rabble Rousers.
He will pick up the cake and he will like try to toast you with it. Tink, tink.
Tink, tink.
Tink, tink.
He literally says tink, tink, and then he just puts the whole piece of cake in his mouth.
Vinny just starts laughing, and he takes the rest of his cake, and he just rubs cake in their faces.
Now I can't see. I can't get my eyes. He gets up and kind of wanders out.
She's gonna take like part of the icing and just kind of smear it on Vinny's face in response.
He starts laughing and rolling around.
Oh God, this is
We're a family.
Yeah. A family that I can actually remember. I mean, I have Mom and I have Billy, and that's a lot to be thankful for. But I don't remember my dad. Speaking of which, I don't know who's lying to me. Either Angela.
Let's not worry about that. Let's focus on the happy days for right now.
Yeah. Because we have family.
He takes Nebby's hand and he takes Tiny's hand and he brings them out onto the floor and then like just starts dancing in a circle with them.
Nebby's gonna try and make sure that her mane doesn't quite sprawl out too much because she's afraid of getting stepped on. Because Tiny is 12 feet tall.
Vinny, on the other hand, is so like lanky and slender. He slips through everything. So
Yeah, Nebby's kind of short and stout. Not like fat, but like stout. Like prominent features and stout.
Honestly, though, we could end the scene here. Like,
That would be a good thing, probably. Might have to
Okay.
make dinners.
Okay. Yep. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. Have a good night.
Benny drinks all the